I haven't even really started filming yet, and this video has already started off with catastrophe. Let's get into it. So today I'm going to be reviewing, talking about, showing you swatches, and doing a look with the brand new Melt 12th Hour collection. I believe that this is a full collection, but maybe it's just being sold as a bundle. We do have an eyeshadow stack. When Melt first came out, when I first got into Melt, they had these eyeshadow stacks. So for their 12th anniversary, they did release a new stack. This one's definitely a little bit different, and they also released a gel liner, and they do have this as a bundle. So real quick, just to get into pricing, the pricing for the bundle together is $69. The stack by itself is $58, and the gel liner is $22. So you are saving quite a bit of money if you bundle them together. But oh God, okay, first I want to show you the actual stack, but let's talk about the catastrophe when it comes to that. I am going to be popping right here on the screen a vertical video. Usually I have this beautiful landscape video showing you the actual palette and everything like that, but not today. Let's talk about why. So with these stacks, they are magnetic, and they do come in these little, I call them pucks, where one by one you have a different shade, and each one of these pucks has a matte shade and a shimmer shade to go along with it. In total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pucks, so we have 12 shades together all total. And the way that Melt words this is, 12th Hour is a moody mix of shades shifting from dusk to midnight. Cool mattes and shimmering tones move effortlessly from soft definition to full intensity glam. Okay, so you were able to see all the shades there. Now let's talk about the catastrophe. Okay, let's talk about the catastrophe. What I was planning on doing after I filmed that vertical video was to film it, in 4K and, a nice landscape and everything like that. But I was putting this back together, and I was holding two of the pucks in my hand like this, and in comes my cat, Piper, like the freaking Kool-Aid man, barreling into my legs, and I dropped not one, but two of the pucks, okay? I didn't just drop them. Nay, I did not just drop them. This is a mirror, this is the top. They went face down, and they went boom, boom. They bounced. They bounced. I instantly could see shadow on the ground before I even picked it up. And when I lifted it, one thing I want to chat about is that I was kind of surprised because they did break, okay? But they didn't completely shatter, and most of them still have like 85–90% of the product left in it. So the very first one, where we have Curse and Veil, definitely did break a bit. You can see there are chunks missing, but there's still a good amount in there. And then it was the second one, which is basically called 6, Sick, 6 and 12 Candles. This one only had the shimmer shade lost a little bit, and that was it. Which means I'm kind of impressed because they went face down and bounced on a hardwood floor and didn't completely shatter. But anyway, now when I did the swatches, these swatched really beautifully. The mattes were very, very creamy, and the shimmers felt almost like emollient, but not so emollient that they feel flimsy at all. They felt sturdy, and they felt really good. There was not a single shade in here that performed badly. But here's what I want to talk to you about, because I feel like this review / tutorial, whatever, is going to be a little bit different than my previous ones. The reasoning behind that is that at the end of the day, this is a neutral palette, right? It's a neutral stack, a neutral palette. If you have like a makeup collection, you probably have colors that are very similar to these. So my review today, I haven't put it on my eyes yet, is not going to be based on necessarily, is this the best color story in the world? It's going to be based on the quality. It's going to be based on how well they perform, how well they blend with each other, and just how they look, how they feel in general, because that's what's going to make it worth it for you. Not so much, this is a never before seen color story. Now, I also have to admit, I love the stacks. I used to love these. I had so many of them, and I did wind up getting rid of them back in the day just because they remade all their stacks into palettes. And but I loved traveling with these. Like, look how simple this is to travel with, and you have 12 eyeshadow shades right here. I'm impressed. Oh, by the way, let me go ahead and show you the gel liner. So the name of it is Ember Hour. Oh, I love it so much. It's like this deep burnt orange, and it is so lovely. I also love Melt shadows before you touch them. They just look so good. But I did want to show you this next to a few other gel liners, just in case you were wondering if they are the same. So this one, I believe, is Terrible Vision. Yeah, this is Terrible Vision from the Nightmare Before Christmas series, and this is Ember Hour. So you can see Ember Hour is darker and more brown, whereas this is more orange. And then I also wanted to show you against another one from that collection. This one is Master of Fright, and this is Ember Hour. This I feel like is a pretty drastic difference, but I wanted to show you anything I had that was close, because this is a metallic burnt orange leaning red. This one still leans more brown. So I am glad that it's different enough where I'm happy to have it in my collection. I could see myself using that one a lot. Okay, it is time to do a look with these shadows, and I'm very excited because I was trying to think about what kind of look I wanted to do. And then I was awake in the middle of the night. I haven't been sleeping well. And Erica Danny, who is one of my favorite creators, popped up with this look, and I was so enamored that like those deep browns and how far out it goes and that sharp line. I want to try it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want to try it. All right, so what I'm going to do, since this is such a sharp angle, I'm going to be using tape today, a much longer piece than I normally use, still on the back of my hand, just to help me create that sharp line. Now, normally when I take tape, I don't know if you can see this. Normally I'll put it to the corner of my eye. This time I put it a little bit under the corner of my eye because I want the color to continue right here. So I think that's looking like a good angle. I definitely got it in my hairline a little bit, so that'll be real fun to take off. So I hope that's even. I feel like it's a little more up than I was anticipating, but we're gonna try it. So I have nothing on my lids, and I mentioned this in a recent video, but I have been switching up my eyeshadow bases because almost nothing seems to be working right now to keep my eyeshadows from creasing. No matter what eyeshadow I use, no matter if it's humid out or dry out or whatever, I feel like my skin is just going through some kind of change. So for today's base, I usually don't use this as a base. I usually use it as like a liquid eyeshadow, but I'm going to use the Melt It Liquid Shadow in Vanilla as my entire base. These are liquid shadows, but again, they're also bases. I'm going to do one eye at a time. This color is just a very light color, and I'm just putting a thin layer on, just all over the lid, all the way up and out. This shade, I feel like it adds a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of a sheen, but not enough, I think, to make a difference of any kind. But just so you are aware, I really do love these as liquid shadows though, but I usually don't try this as a base. So curious to see. I'm just trying like anything right now to see how it helps. I think I might have narrowed down the problem. I might have to my NYX glitter glue. That might be the thing that's doing it, and not so much like the base underneath, but the glitter glue that I put on top for shimmers. All right, so what is cool about this look, and again, I'll pop it right here so you can see, is I feel like, and I'm gonna look at it too, we've just got a very like warm, rich, deep brown with a lot of that golden shimmer on the lid. Now, I don't know if I'm going to take on her inner corner, not her inner corner, but her inner crease. She has it very squared off. That is not something that is flattering to my eye shape. So what I always think that you should do is if you're getting inspiration from somebody online and you think it's, you know, looks really good, make it work for you. It doesn't have to be an exact replica to be good. I do like though how much it comes out to a point here and then comes back in here and touches the edge of the brow. So I'm going to try it. Let's see what color I want to use. Like, I think a lot of mine is going to be this puck. Like, I feel like you could do the whole look with this one puck. So this is 6 feet under is the deep brown matte, and I will deepen it up. And then past dusk is the shimmer. These are so pretty. So I'm going to be loading my brush up with that matte to start. And the first thing I want to do is get this edge going to see how that looks. You know what? I need a different brush. I'm actually going to use the same brush I used for the base because this is a bit more dense and you can really like pack on with this. So one thing that I will say, this shade is not looking as warm as I thought, but it is going on nice and pigmented instantly. And like I said, my big thing that I want to judge this palette on, if you want to call it, I mean, it is a palette. The big thing I want to judge this on is the quality. And not so much, again, like the interesting color story. I mean, this is interesting to me. A lot of people don't like neutrals, and I know that. But nonetheless, I'm judging this on quality, on blending, on usability. This is still a beautiful color, but it is not as warm as I thought it was going to be. So I will say most of the colors in this palette do lean, like I wouldn't call this necessarily cool tone, but these palettes are leaning more cool toned in general. But still like a pretty, pretty color. Like, look at that. Ooh. And this is coming sharply. Like, interesting. Okay. it's a more sharp crease and not so much blended. I'm not too worried about it being messy on the lid, but I do like this kind of sharp look to it. I'm switching over actually to a flat brush so I can get that like dense edge to make this shape. One thing I will say right off the bat is I don't know if you can tell, but like instantly the colors are very pigmented. I'm not having to like build them up a lot. It's more just about right now, it's about me getting the shape down than anything, but so far so good with the quality of the shadow. Not gonna lie, this kind of graphic look with a shape, maybe I will do like kind of that inner corner. This kind of graphic look with a shape like this is not my usual cup of tea, but like so far so good. I'm actually, again, pretty damn impressed with how the shade is performing, and this is still only that first shade. Now, even if I don't wind up using a ton of shades in this, you saw the swatches. So the swatches did very well, and I always do say that swatches on your eyes or swatches on your arm do not necessarily equal how it's going to look on your eyes, but I will say that like the swatches all were to the point where I didn't have to build any of them up. So I was quite happy with that. Look at that. That's just like one dip into the pan. That looks crazy right now. So again, because I'm not used to like a graphic look, I'm just kind of doing this slowly so I can really get in there and get these as close as possible. I have to say right now I'm kind of having fun with this. I'm having fun with it, even though like I've literally used one brown eyeshadow and that's it. Also, there has been a minimal amount of fallout, but literally only where I tapped it on the edge of the tape. But like I'm literally tapping a dry eyeshadow on top of like a slick material, so I'm not surprised that there's fallout there. But let me continue with this, and I'm gonna deepen up the edge. I was trying to not use too many brushes because I'm literally leaving for the airport in 24 hours. Also, I just looked at my watch and was like, oh my God, I'm leaving in 24 hours. Like I have to check into my flight. I'm in the A group. I'm still in Southwest, so I'm very excited. So before I go into the, what shade is that called again? Past Dusk, the kind of shimmery duochrome, I want to deepen up just this outer corner, and I'm going to be going under the eyes too, but the shade I want to go in with is Sin. This is a very deep, beautiful, beautiful brown, and I'm taking another flat brush because I don't, and I'm not doing this like heavy. I don't want this to take over. I literally just want this to deepen right here along the outer corner, because I still want to keep whatever warmth is in there. I want to keep that, but this is just smoking it out a little bit more. I'm also going to go back into 6 feet under with that flat brush and just take that right here under the outer corner. And this is what's going to connect it there. But I'm going to be taking off the tape to do the rest of the under eye, but just wanted to do that little bit that's showing right there. All right, so far so good. So what I'm going to be doing is I've been trying to wet my brush now. I've been trying to wet it. So I am going into, I just dug my nail into that. Guys, I am a mess today with this freaking palette. So I'm going to take just that bit that I broke off, going into Past Dusk. And oh God, this is such a pretty color. Do I even need to wet it? I probably don't, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I've been going in with a wet brush as opposed to my glitter glue. And I'm putting this all over the lid. This color, oh yeah, this is a Linda color. That is beautiful. Is this a trust the process? I think this is a trust the process because right now I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know. Nothing to do with the eyeshadow, just this shape on me. This color is absolutely beautiful though. Ooh, I love that. So for the inner corner, for this area like right here, I'm going to go in with the lightest palette, and Veil is the satin eyeshadow right here. So that's not going to be like a glittery eyeshadow, but it's going to have a little bit of like luminescence to it, and I hope that just kind of brightens things up. Let's see how it looks dry. Ooh, that catches the light really pretty. Again, it's just a satin shadow, so it's not meant to be, you know, a glitter eyeshadow. Look at that. Ooh, that's actually beautiful as like an inner corner highlight. I'm loading that up a little. Okay, moment of truth. We are going to take this off and then go under the eyes. Let's see. How do we feel? So I think what I want to do, I'm going to clean this up real quick. I need that to come to a sharper point. I'm taking like a little bit of makeup remover on this like flat brush, and I just want to see if I can kind of shape that out. There we go. Now it's at a point. Before, it was at this kind of like dull edge. I feel like that looks kind of bomb. So this look bomb or crazy? A little bit of both. I'm going back into the slightly warmer brown. I'm actually going to use this all under the eyes, all the way in under the eyes, because I don't want to go in with like a different color, really. I don't want that to be too dark. I just want that to kind of match the whole vibe. All right, before finishing the eyes with like mascara and anything like that, I want to go into this Ember Hour liner, and I want to put this on my waterline. I feel like that'd be a really nice pop, and I think it's going to make my eyes look very blue. It's a very soft gel liner. I love melt gel liners for the waterline too. Oh yeah, yep. I hope you can see that. That is such a bright pop of like orangey brown, and again, I really do think that it makes my eyes look super blue. Okay, so we looking a little crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my eyes and put something on my lips, because I think it could be a trust the process that once it's all together with, you know, my mascara done and with lipstick done, it'll be something else. But I am going to do, I'm trying to decide, I might do, I don't know if I want to do a liquid line here, but I'm definitely going to use liquid liner on the top, and I'll be right back and we're going to talk about my thoughts so far. All right, confession. It wasn't until my hair was down that I could kind of see the full picture, and I really like it. I did not like it until my hair was down. How weird is that? Like, I was looking in the mirror after I put this lip on, which I love this combo so much. But anyway, I was looking in the mirror and I was like, okay, so I'm just going to have to call this like kind of not necessarily like a fail tutorial, but like, hey, at least I tried. Now that the hair is down though, I'm seeing it, and I feel like maybe it's because of the color of my hair, and it's just like pulling from, I don't know. Anyway, okay, whew. Yeah, I'm feeling all of this. Real quick, for the lip combo, I used the Unearthly Pencil in Reap, and then I used, so this is Pumpkin King from Melt, but they re-released this, and the name is just Pumpkin, and then the Dracula Gloss from the Melt Universal Monsters collection, which I always forget how incredibly wet looking these are. But anyway, let's talk first about this stack. Like, I'm going to talk about the gel liner. I love it. I absolutely love it. Their gel liners really stay. This is beautiful. It is the same quality and consistency as their other gel liners. So if you like those, you will like this. I like this stack a lot. Let me tell you why. First of all, I am somebody who wears a lot of neutrals. I really do enjoy them, but when I'm going for neutrals, what I'm looking for is quality at this point, because you can buy neutrals from some cheap brand. You could go to the dollar store and find a neutral palette right now. Let's be honest here. So I'm looking for quality, and this has the quality. Like, look how pigmented and rich these tones are in every single one. So again, I'm just going to show you here. We do have this lighter shade. That's one of the ones that broke. We've got this kind of not mid-tone. This is just like a cool toned light brown combo. Then we have this one, which is like a mid-tone, but cool toned brown combo. Then we have the one I used the most. This is the warmest in the whole palette. Then we've got the next one down. And oh, I forgot to tell you the deepest one. I used this matte shade to blend out my liquid liner a little bit. I enjoy this. I'm considering taking this with me on my trip, and maybe only this as the eyeshadow, because I'm really liking it. I really like it. I really enjoy it. I'm of course so happy that I received this in PR, but I always want to tell you the truth, because again, it is just neutral colors. So you have to be a fan of the quality, and you have to be a fan of the concept of the stack, which I am. I also always love how there's a mirror on top. I feel like that's always classy. But let me know what you're thinking. Is this a collection that you're thinking of picking up at all? I really like it. I was going to buy this anyway. I'm telling you right now, I was going to buy it. I literally had my finger on the button to purchase it when I found out I was also receiving this in PR. So this is something I was personally going to purchase, but you have to decide if it's right for you. I really like it. And I know me, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. I really am. But oh, I love this lip. I love this lip, but let me know what you're thinking. I want to know your thoughts. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please take 1 second and give it a thumbs up before you leave. That helps out my channel so much. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all Glitter Fallout. And as always, and forever and ever, you are super freaking rock stars. I love you so much with my whole heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.